everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm your host, Cryptidmasterkd, and the terrifying creature hiding in your bedroom closet. And we have a special guest today. This is Cryptid Mom.
Hello.
Now, in today's episode, we will be discussing the legendary Yeti Bigfoot of the Himalayas. Ian, if you're watching this, Ian's the guy who requested this. Ian, if you're watching this, this is for you. Right, let's get into it.
Okay.
The Yeti is a Bigfoot from the Himalayas. And since the 1800s, multiple sightings have been in other parts of the world like India, Asia, and Russia. Now, what is a Yeti, you might ask? Well, let me put it to you this way. The Yeti is a Bigfoot creature described as 7 feet tall, bipedal, hominid, ape-like, hairy, and a cone-shaped head. Also, here's a fun fact for you. The Yeti isn't white. I know in many descriptions that the Yeti is white, but actually, he is a mix of brown and red.
I could be a Yeti.
Mm-hmm. Most say that they're just another Bigfoot, but actually, Bigfoot prints, this is how you can identify a Yeti's footprints. A Bigfoot's prints is large and human-like, whereas the Yeti has a more ape-like footprint.
How can you tell it's ape-like?
Simple. Because it has a huge toe like a poindexterous finger. And that's how you can identify if it's a Yeti, because their footprint is more like a chimp or a gorilla.
Oh, okay.
The Sherpa people of the Himalayas consider him their mountains, a guardian of their mountain, a divine protector of the mountains. And any who disrespect the mountain face the Yeti's wrath. Now, do you have any questions?
I'd like to hear some of the stories about the Yeti. I don't know this, but I've always thought of him as being semi-friendly like Bigfoot, but I hear that they fear him for a reason.
Yes, that's another trace of the Yeti. There are many reports of the Yeti being aggressive towards humans. In fact, the Sherpa people of Nepal tell stories of men being thrown up in the air and tossed around like a rag doll and eventually dying of their wounds.
Oh, that is dangerous.
Now, enough with the descriptions. Let's get into some stories.
Okay, I like that.
Our first story takes place in 1974. A young Sherpa girl, you see, was tending to her...
Just keep going.
A young Sherpa girl was herding her yaks when all of a sudden she heard a whistling behind her. And out of nowhere, this huge creature, a Yeti, attacked her and threw her into a freezing river, causing her to pass out. A few hours later, she woke up and all of her cattle, all of her yaks were brutally killed. And when she looked up, she saw this huge ape-like creature walking away.
That is terrifying.
Another terrifying story, happened in 1959. A group of eight experienced hikers went up to Died at Love Pass in the Russian mountains. However, the group never returned. 3 weeks later, a search party was formed and they went out looking for the kids. And what they found was a gruesome, gruesome sight. A grisly sight indeed. 5 men were dead from hypothermia. And far from their torn up tent, 2 mauled bodies remained with fractured skulls, sunken in chest, and ripped out facial features.
Ew. Wow.
Now, the first sighting, on to our next story. The first sighting in the Americas. That's right, turns out there's Yetis here in America. And this story takes place in 1987. Boy, this story is going to be a doozy one. On the northern border of California, and close to Oregon, Brian Wallstein and some friends took a trip to a cabin in the Panther Meadows.
Where's the Panther Meadows? Up at, get your hand up there, Mount Shasta.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what happened was, just as they got to the cabin, there was this terrible pungent odor that just hit them in the face. Now, here's a fun fact for that. Most Bigfoot sightings many Bigfoots have this horrible smell. I think it's so they can identify each other. Anyway, what happened was this terrible odor hit them in the face, and the door of the cabin flew open. And staring at them right in their faces were 3 Yetis. Brian claims that there was one 7-foot tall male and one 6-foot tall female and a juvenile that was holding her hand.
Wow.
Now, people a lot of times believe that the Yeti is a god on earth, that he's a protector of the mountains. But that's all. I personally believe that, honestly, that the Yeti is a sacred species and a very old one from an ape called Gigantopithecus blackie, which was a giant species of ape that roamed Asia. That's a lot of Bigfoot researchers theorize that Gigantopithecus may have evolved into what we know as the Bigfoot and crossed into America during the last ice age. And I perfectly believe that one day we'll find the truth. But for now, the Yeti should be respected. And to all you guys who want to go look for the Yeti, don't. Just don't.
Don't.
Just don't. Okay? It's not worth your life. And just don't go risking your life to look for such a creature.
Just don't.
Just don't. Okay?
Good job. Okay.
So, any other questions?
That filled me right in. Good job. Thank you.
Okay then. Well, thank you for being here, and thank you to all of you
Sorry.
who watched this movie to the end. And to those of you who are new on the channel, please like, favorite, and subscribe. And hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I release another video. And by the way, Peaches, the baby Wampus cat, needs her catnip. So please subscribe. And tune in next week when I discuss the legendary Beast of Bray Road. It's gonna be great. Thank you for watching to the end. I'm Cryptidmasterkd, Cryptid Mom. Peace out.